Columbus River Dragons, your home for River Dragons hockey. Newnan 99 Rock.
Good morning. Welcome to WQEE 99.1. I'm Donna.
And I am Bruce.
And this is Lyrical Wisdom. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna. How are you?
I was just telling Ryan I feel good because fall is in the air.
Fall is in the air. It feels like it out there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, and it might be because we are finally getting some rain.
I feel that feeling of kind of lethargy.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm also coming off a big high from Allison's wedding this weekend. So, yeah, that's another thing is, I can breathe now. It's such a beautiful time we had. Such a beautiful time. And I'm really excited about the song this morning. I would like everyone to know this is it was sent in to us. So this is a request.
An official request.
Official request. Yay, you all send in your requests to let us share the wisdom we find in the lyrics of the song You Choose. This song, which was chosen by Davis McCondishi, who is my son. He said, "Hey, Mom, I'd love for you to do this song." And so here we are. Today, we're going to look at Parallel Universe by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, Bruce, you say you know this song. I really don't know this song. Of course, I'm a lot older than you are. And I do remember my children listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but it was never, they were never a group I attached to or listened to. So this is very new to me, I have to admit. And it was fascinating to look at the lyrics in this song.
This is a song I'm familiar with, and we were actually just discussing that before we came on air. And one of the things that I notice about this song is that it is on one of the albums that, for some people that listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers in their time frame and in that generation of time, they were listening to different albums as the band developed over a period of time that was actually, I would guess, a while, that's not a very good guess. It was
longer than most bands. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they've been around. They've been around, and there are different bands that have a certain evolvement over time, and I would say that for many of us that have listened to the Red Hot Chili Peppers from when they became very popular, and we think about that time and we think, wow, I was listening to them when they were making this album. I think one of their albums was Mother's Milk back in the day, and that is considered an earlier album for them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people out there might not even be familiar with the name of that album, because Californication, which is where I believe this song comes from, is a little bit more familiar to a later generation. That actual album appealed to a totally different generation of listeners than Mother's Milk. And so this is an album that I'm familiar with because I started listening to this when I was ushering myself into learning how to play guitar. And I took a song, I believe Road Tripping is on this album, and it's one of my favorite, and I made myself learn how to play it on guitar. So I'm going to read this album. I'm going to read this song. Yeah, that'll be a longer radio show than we actually have time for. And I'm going to do my best to read this to you. But it is a familiar song, but that's a little bit of the history of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know if everybody was in store for that, but here we go. Parallel Universe by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Deep inside of a parallel universe, it's getting harder and harder to tell what came first. Underwater where thoughts can breathe easily, Far away you were made in a sea, just like me. Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything. Staring straight up into the sky. Oh my, my. A solar system that fits in your eye. Microcosm. You could die, but you're never dead. Spider web. Take a look at the stars in your head. Fields of space, kid. Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything. Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything. Psychic changes are born in your heart. Entertain a nervous breakthrough that makes us the same. Bless your heart, girl. Kill the pressure, it's raining on salty cheeks when you hear the beloved song. I am with you. Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything. Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. It's everything. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Bruce.
Oh, gosh. Well, that was a little, that took a little courage to try to sing that. Honestly, I've always kind of wanted to do that here, but I would apologize for the bad notes. But
no, it was beautiful because it was authentic and it was you, Bruce.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's kind of, I kind of, like, thinking about your son sending this in, I thought, if I read this, for somebody that's listened to this song and that kind of wanted to hear us talk about what the lyrics say, I couldn't help it because I could only imagine that in their heart, they would be hearing the song.
Interesting. Thank you.
And so that connection, and I'm thinking in a little weird theory here, but a little bit of like a morphic resonance with my listeners out there, thinking that, like when you hear it, even as it was saying this morning, that, you could maybe connect with the song as it is actually sung. Yeah. Because that is not exactly how it's sung, but that is how I remember it being sang. And what's really strange is I haven't listened to that until this morning. My wife played it on the computer because she was printing out these lyrics for us for the show.
Yes.
And it started to come back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how long it's been since I've listened to this song. But let's dive into this.
Let's. And I'd like to start off with just the title.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Parallel Universe, okay? I think it's really become a buzzword. So what I did was Parallel Universe, also known as Parallel World. In quantum mechanics, a universe theorized as existing alongside our own, although undetectable. And then in fantasy or science fiction, it is a world conceived of as coexisting with and having certain similarities to the known world, but different from it in some fundamental way.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting how in quantum mechanics, it's saying that it's totally undetectable. We know it's there, but we don't know anything about it. But yet in fantasy and science fiction, it's coexisting with us, and it has certain similarities. And it's like, for me, that, I go with the fantasy science fiction one. You know, that definition over the quantum mechanics one, although it's both, but yet I believe we know so much more than we think we do for the parallel universe, right?
I couldn't agree more. I think we do know more. We just, in some ways, we don't remember. And in a lot of ways, I like to think of this as the both/and kind of moment with these two kind of definitions, if you will.
Right.
And I think you could also pick your semantics or your vernacular, and we could think of the parallel universe as having been something that, and I think of many different science fiction movies, the Marvel series that's been coming out with the parallel universes. But,
right.
You know, what's interesting is that the simple and most popular concept of heaven and hell happens to be parallel universes. And it's difficult sometimes to attach parallel universes to those two, but in theory or in reality, that's what they are.
Right.
If they exist, then they have to be a parallel universe, because otherwise we would, you want to go to heaven, you could walk down the street and go past the supermarket and then it's on the left. Or
right.
You want to go check out hell, well, you have to get down past Six Flags and then you keep going down a little farther, and it's just, it would exist with us. And
right.
And so it has to be, if whatever semantics, whatever vernacular, whatever we choose to label as the parallel universe, these beliefs and these things are potentially out there. They are real. And I think that it just takes a both/and kind of mindset to try to kind of accept their existence, or acknowledge or be with their existence in that way. So that,
right.
Because I agree, both describe exactly, that's a beautiful definition, Donna. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Well, no. I mean, that's the way this starts. We're deep inside of a parallel universe. It's getting harder and harder to tell what came first. I mean, the first thing that popped in my head was the chicken or the egg.
Oh my
right?
gosh, that just popped into my head too.
Oh, right. Yeah,
so,
we're always connected. Yeah, and underwater where thoughts can breathe easily. Far away you were made in a sea, just like me. In the Bible, I don't know if many of you realize this, but in the Bible, when you read the Genesis, the creation of this earth, God separated the waters. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so there we go. You were made in a sea, just like me. And thoughts can breathe easily. I think when I read that, I went directly to Mother's womb.
Oh, yeah.
Deep inside the womb of creation.
Yes.
And a womb, that's what it is. It's water.
It is. It is the I guess, primordial soup. Mm-hmm. And it could be the seas that were parted. It could be the, whatever your definition of this moment is, but in one way of speaking, it could be the primordial ooze, the soup that. And
people talk about the sea of consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the next, I guess you call it the help me, Bruce. Christ, I'm a sidewinder.
The chorus.
The chorus. Yes. Thank you. And I thought that was quite fascinating because I was like, sidewinder. I know I've heard of that, but how would I describe that? Well,
the snake.
Known as the sidewinder, the horned rattlesnake or sidewinder rattlesnake is a pit viper species belonging to. It's found in the desert regions of southwestern United States, and like all other pit vipers, it is venomous.
And you think about, I think these lyrics are a little bit of an indication towards that. Simply like, I'm a sidewinder, I'm a California king. Well, California happens to be in that southwest region. This is a pit viper, very
Venomous.
Oh boy, howdy. And here we have, you know, this kind of like a declaration of confidence almost, you know.
Yeah, not only that, but saying it's everywhere and everything. In other words, the venom, you can't get away from it.
Exactly.
It's just...
It is within everything.
Yes, yes, yes. And so now we come to the lyrics that my son highlighted, and that is staring straight up into the sky. Oh, my. A solar system that fits in your eye. Microcosm. You could die, but you're never dead. Spiderweb. Take a look at the stars in your head. Fields of space, kid.
As above, so below.
Staring straight up into the sky. How many times I do that every night.
Absolutely.
I can't walk outside at night without looking up into the stars.
Absolutely.
Why is that? Why do we always look up? Why is heaven up? You know? Exactly. And, you know, we talk about raising our vibration, going up. So what is that? For me, it is the solar system. It's the entire universe. And we're drawn to that because we are that. And we come from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how does a solar system fit in your eye?
I think of it as the speck of dust that we could be called in the grand scheme of the entire universe.
Right,
and
I know.
How it is, you know, how it appears to most of us. Our reality appears to us that we are this very, very significant, but if you open up our view to the entire universe, we are this tiny little speck of...
We're the microcosm.
Yes, we are the microcosm. It's in your eye. Yes, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm like blown away that your son highlighted these lyrics, because just like I was thinking before, I've never thought of these lyrics to analyze them like this. And then it says, "You could die, but you are never dead." Spiderweb, and it gives me a little bit of chills to think about that, because I was just watching a documentary that talked about the fact that they can see the web of energetic connections between the galaxies.
Yes.
And it's like an amazing spider web out in the universe.
Yes.
And this is another part of what I guess we could call science, or even quantum physics, that is discovering the spider web. And you could die, but you're never dead. Well, hello. I mean,
we all know that now. We are spirits in
and it makes me think
bodies.
With the fact that we're, you know, staring straight up into the sky, solar system that fits in your eye, and the microcosm, and then the spider web, and take a look at the stars in your head, fields of space, kid. It's like we have all of that within us. Fields of space.
You know, right. And I know that of the 70 trillion cells that make up the physical body, every single cell is a solar system in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it under a microscope, that's what it is.
It's amazing. It looks like a sun, and then these things that are like planets rotating around.
And the spider web, when you look at all the neural pathways within our brains, it looks like a spider web.
Truly does.
The connections that we make in every single thought.
Absolutely.
Every single moment. The web of connection that happens within us is going on outside of us as well.
Absolutely. Throughout an entire spider web in the universe, and the stars in your head. That is a beautiful way of saying those lyrics, is what you just said, Donna. That's beautiful, because that's exactly what that seems to me like. Those stars in your head are that spider web, almost going in reverse here, and then fields of space. You know? Yeah,
meditating. When you meditate, when you go within, and when you look and understand that, yes, I am all. It reminds me, I think we've shared this before, how if if the sea of consciousness, okay, the sea, we're talking about that we're made of a sea, you and me.
Yeah.
If that sea, let's for a moment imagine that sea being the creator, being God, being intelligent love, being Buddha, Allah, whatever you choose to describe that intelligent love, that energy that created all of us.
Absolutely.
We're imagining it as the sea right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in us being created from that, we are just a drop.
Absolutely.
Of that sea.
Yes.
But instead of thinking of yourself as a drop of the sea, you are the sea in a drop.
Both.
Correct.
And.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. You realize just how big your microcosm of this macrocosm is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. So, Christ, I'm a sidewinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything. So how are psychic changes born in your heart? Entertain. A nervous breakthrough that makes us the same. Bless your heart, girl.
It's beautiful. I love the psychic changes are born in your heart. Entertain. I feel like the word entertain is almost like some of the languages I learned when I was in school, that certain ways that you would put the sentence together required the grammar to have a verb or something at the end of the sentence or at the beginning of the sentence. It depended on what their grammar for that language was. And that kind of reminds me of this moment where it says psychic changes are born in your heart. Entertain. Almost like saying,
look at them, play
exactly,
with them, see them, be with them.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
You know, in not like the most, you know, kind of in I don't know if it's an overt way. I just know that it's not the most, you know, obvious way of saying take advantage of what you are experiencing.
Right. And do your work, do your shadow work. In other words, you know, psychic changes are born in your heart. I don't know, you're at the airport and you're looking for a parking spot, okay? You're running just a few minutes late and this car whips around the corner and pulls into your spot that you were, you know, so anxiously waiting to pull into because you're a little bit late. What happens? What happens in your heart? What happens in your body? Well, do you entertain that?
Absolutely. Do you entertain it? Or,
right.
Do you bottle it up? Do you...
Do you like start screaming at the person and get out and yell at them and everything? Or do you, you know, I'm sure you would quickly find another parking spot because you got to make your plane. When you sit down in your seat on the plane, can you entertain
Absolutely.
Those psychic changes that happened within your heart?
Within your heart, because you were staring straight up into the sky, realizing that it's a microcosm in the spider web, and it's all, you know, that's, I agree, like, then that's where those psychic changes are coming from, I believe, that are born in your heart, because I feel like we have that connection to the cosmos.
Right, and then so, that nervous breakthrough that makes us the same will happen.
Yes.
Because then you realize, oh, I just got really pissed off at someone, you know? and you're like, why did that piss me off? And it was like, well, you know, because it almost made me miss my plane, you know, but why? Why did that, you know, why did that aggravate you? And when you look at that, then you realize that that poor soul may have been, you know, on the plane before yours, you know, and you become the same.
Exactly.
You realize that everybody has issues. Everybody's going through everything.
And bless their heart.
Bless their heart. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, bless their heart. They cut you off. Maybe you cut them off and they yell and they flip you off. Bless their heart. Whichever way it goes, honestly, bless everybody's heart, because we are all in this together. Yeah. And so and kill the pressure. It's raining on salty cheeks. when you hear the beloved song, I am with you. I love that lyric. After reading that today, I just love that. But kill the pressure, it's raining on salty cheeks. That part kind of took me a little off guard because I was like,
Well, for me, I see that as tears. Tears running down the cheek.
Yes.
Because tears are salty.
Yes, they are.
So kill the pressure it's raining on. So in other words, whatever's making you cry, stop and think about it. You'll hear the beloved song, I am with you. In other words, when you can get out of your poor, pitiful me, you realize how not alone you are.
And the pressure could be a release of tears that help release something that then, after the salty cheeks, then you hear the beloved song too, because then those could be leading to the potential healing. But
it could be tears of joy. You're right,
yeah,
right. Let them go. Let them release. You've got to allow that release.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
Salty cheeks, once you're, when you kill that pressure it's raining on. In other words, whatever caused it, when you
exhaled,
realize it, then you can hear the beloved song,
Absolutely,
I am with you. In other words, then it's like whatever it is, whether it's, I'm upset and poor pitiful me, then you can, okay, I can do this. You begin to find the strength within. And if it's tears of joy, then you begin to just laugh and really be able to engulf yourself in that joy.
Absolutely.
Because I am with you.
Yes.
And for me, that is almost spirit speaking, or your higher self speaking, saying, you're not alone in any of this. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. Right?
Yes, no, that resonates with me for sure. And I think about that Christ, I'm a sidewinder. After that, I'm a California king, as kind of like that's almost like the way that the chorus in this song is kind of like a, hey, like let's get up. It's like a motivator. It's like a moment of inspiration, if you will, to get yourself up, brush yourself off. Let's start all over again.
Right.
Release that. Because when you hear the beloved song, I am with you.
Right.
And then let's bring it up. And then, of course, the very last part, oh yeah. I had to do that like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just saw him busting through the wall. That was awesome. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, but most of all, thank you, Davis, for sending in this request.
This was incredible.
We really, really would love for all of you to send us some requests to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Email us your requests so we can shine some light on and wisdom on your favorite lyrics.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This was amazing.
Yeah, it was a great day. So thank you, Davis McConaughey. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you,
and
Donna.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, WQEE 99.1 FM, the key for this beautiful opportunity to share some wisdom.
Yes.
All right. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.